Hello everyone, I'm Tay, and today we're going to be drawing while having a little chat. So far here, I guess a little bit of a background here of this particular illustration. It's going to be a series of illustrations because it's going to be a mini comic. So technically, each of these are in different folders, but they're each going to be different pages of the mini comic. And it stars two of my OC's original characters, Bun and Jared. They eventually end up becoming a couple, and this is more so the period of time where they are a couple. In the beginning of their story that I'm working on, they do not start off that way. And this is a part 2 to the first mini comic that I made and recorded last week. And yeah, here I'm just kind of sketching in the different pose for the characters. What I like to do is start off with a really rough thumbnail of everything and then do a slightly more refined sketch of the figures. And then eventually we'll be getting into line art. I swear, drawing feet is like such a pain. Like, everyone's always complaining about hands. Bro. Drawing feet, can't stand it. Shoes, can't stand it. This whole comic, I wanted to give the vibe of like an anime, like anime screenshots. So the first one was more so in like a comic / anime screenshot type style, but this one I wanted it to give screenshot. And I hope that in the end it did. I feel like it kind of did in the end. I love drawing these poses where it's like foreshortening and like a drastic angle, whether it be from like above or like looking down on a character. So now we get into the line art section. I have noticed that in a lot of animation, in particular Japanese animation, they use like an unweighted pen. So doesn't matter how hard you press, the width of the pen will not change. So I find that helped with creating that really clean aesthetic that animation has. Drawing his hair was so difficult. I will say, the more refined your sketch is, the easier it is with the line art portion. I enjoy doing line art quite a bit, actually. I am not a fan of the sketch phase, which is so weird. I always hear people complain about, like, line art, but not necessarily the sketch phase. I guess I like making it look refined. Don't get me wrong, like, I love looking at other people's sketches, but I feel like when I sketch, it's just like, ugh. And when I do the line art, I make the corrections that I didn't make during the sketch process. Like, for Bun's face, the one who's walking towards the other character, I redid his face, essentially, in the line art portion. That's what I like so much about doing line art. That you can update that sketch that you did. I really like how this panel turned out, especially with like the hand, the foreshortening. That was really fun drawing this, and the other angle also. Definitely my favorite type of angles to draw. Now for the coloring. I go in with the lasso tool here, and I just fill in the silhouette with the character's skin tone for both of them, so their respective skin tones for the whole body. And then I kind of pick, based off of the previous little comic, the colors that I set there. That way it's not too much I'm changing. The second tab that I'm switching over to are the character colors that I have saved. I find that when I work on everything together, I get it done a little faster. Instead of doing like one page at a time, I feel like it like forces me to like not be super, I guess like a super perfectionist about it. Not saying that I was like rushing through the process doing it this way. I just find that like I was a bit more organized and like making sure I did everything the same way, because I have a tendency of like each time I draw I try out like a whole different method, which sometimes makes me take way longer on finishing an illustration than what it needed to. I don't know why I do that to myself, but it's a habit of mine. Whenever I'm choosing colors, I try to think of creating a cohesive palette. So no colors that really clash with each other. Thinking about like your fundamentals like color theory. Keeping those in mind whenever I'm choosing colors. Whenever you have a bunch of colors in a piece, it's better to have subjects that are desaturated in the colors in which they're wearing. Now, this part right here definitely was not my favorite. I thought I was gonna have an easier time painting the trees, but like, it was rough. Like, as you can, like, I have a reference up and everything, and like, no matter what brush I used, for the longest time, it was not turning out how I wanted it to. Eventually, we got the forest down. That was hard. I feel like it would have been better if I had, like, I don't know, really cool, like, tree brushes or leaf brushes. Hell, I could have made one, but, like, I didn't. I probably should have, but hey, it's fine. So now we're gonna go in for the cell shading style thingamajig. At first, I was gonna like color in Jared's color to be like him mostly being shadow and then doing that light, but I felt like you could not see his features, so instead I just filled in the like the light source instead. And then had cell shading for like the darker darks of his shadow. And same with Bun on the other end. I just used the light to kind of create that form, and then I go in on his outfit and add in the darker darks for his shadows to give him a bit more depth and dimension. At this part of the illustration, I almost forgot to draw Bun's tail. It's crazy how you make a character and you'll forget things that are important to what they need on them. I need to make reference sheets of them. I enjoyed painting the teapot and the cup. It was just, I don't know why. It was really satisfying drawing it. And the walls too, adding that subtle shadow to them. And now for the next one. So what I did was I just copy and pasted, because I mean, hey, might as well. I took forever on that. I adjusted the branch just a little bit, and started doing that same process of like adding in the light source on the character's form and adding in darker darks. For characters like Jared, he's a very melanated character. So you want to make sure that like whenever you're drawing someone who has darker skin, that their palm and the bottoms of their feet are lighter. So now we're on the third page, and we're just kind of doing the same thing. Nothing crazy. I wanted it to be a little bit more detailed because it's a close-up. So I'm adding a little bit more detail with how the light source is going to hit once formed. Now we're on that final page, adding in those shadows on Jared's form. That was it, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by to watch my video, and I just want to say thanks everyone for your support, and make sure you let me know your thoughts about this particular video and the way that I did it, and make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to see the finished version of these comic pages, just visit my links to my socials. It'll be in my bio. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.